Whether on premise, hybrid, or in the cloud, RCS gives broadcasters the tools and support to create, schedule, manage, and deliver content with confidence. RCS is the trusted leader for audio professionals.
Dear listener, happy Monday. It's time for a very special edition of our Monday meeting. Well, it's Christmas morning in Sandilands. Kyle is back on the air, and I have to say, I think people will be surprised with my thoughts. Showbiz, how are you?
Hello, Radio. All is right with the world. The king is back, and what a start. Can I just say to all the haters, calm down. We've all had technical issues. It's okay. It's okay. Every headline, what a mess, what a debacle. Yeah, it sounded like I had my own radio station in my bedroom back in 1993. It's all good. It's going to be amazing. Calm down. What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely loved the chaos. And I think this is something that perhaps people who don't get Kyle don't understand. So let me walk you back to the start of the show, because I don't know about you, but I set my alarm at 5 minutes to 6 and I was streaming at 6 o'clock. So tick in terms of anticipation and the moment. I think everyone in the radio industry probably was having a listen this morning, or at least trying to skive off a free subscription from Bruno. So, by the way, I tried that. It didn't work. He didn't respond. I paid full tote odds. I paid $99 to hear it this morning. But anyway, paying customer now, Kyle. So you've got to take my feedback seriously. Look, this was a show for unabashed Kyle fans. If you love Kyle, this was Christmas morning. This was opening the presents, because every single thing he had under the tree was there for you. And if you hated Kyle, don't worry about it. Don't spend the $99 and live in a nice place all of your own, and that's totally fine. And Kyle is happy with that. The big headlines obviously are the technical issues. Now, obviously, there's, as you said, we all have had technical issues. We had one on this podcast on the weekend. We won't tell you what it was, but you can go back and have a listen, that there was a little editing.
I noticed it.
We won't draw attention to that, but we've all have tech issues. We all have tech issues. But what was great was they embraced the tech issues. They didn't try and hide it. They didn't try and be a polished show. It was Kyle chaos, right? The technical issues were almost like if you could have scripted it, it would have been awesome. At 7:07, they did the literally, let's turn the whole thing off and let's turn it all back on again, which is standard IT advice.
You know, maybe the techs have been right all along when the techs have said to us, have you tried off and on? Oh, it does work.
And I mean, you imagine this in a commercial radio environment, right? So they basically turned the radio station off for 30 seconds. There was no emergency tape. It just went silent and the stream dropped out, and then it came back and supposedly things were working again, but stuff went. I just want to give people who didn't hear it, this is what I wrote down in my raw notes from the first hour, right? So from 6 to 7, I had to listen. Then I had to scatter-daddle and get on the Today Show to talk about it. But this is what was there. Tech issues to start. He was going to have a fight with ARN over Brooklyn, and he threatened to put Brooklyn behind him with an ARN sticker over his mouth saying ARN have silenced him. Quintessential Kyle, right? Starting a fight. He talked about being gifted a Donald Trump signed MAGA hat cap. Bruno dropped the C word, and Kyle pulled him up. He said, I've told everyone we're not going to have potty mouth amongst the staff. If I do it, it's fine, but not you guys. John Edward was the first guest. Classic, right? The medium guy. Then we got into masturbation, gay sex, drug talk, homeless people in King's Cross, the fact that there are no censors. He called the Mad Witches ugly. Colleen from Sales, that character, was back. He talked about the censors being woke. He talked about illegal firearms. The music he played Like a Prayer as the first song, and not, quote, the shit the record companies want us to play. And Chris Minns, the New South Wales Premier, was the first guest. Now, this is all before 7 a.m. This is the first hour of this adventure. And I just went through it, and I was listening to it, as I want to do, with a critical ear, right, to try and critique it. And the best I can come up with is it was a 5-star show for Kyle fans. If you're a Kyle fan, this is exactly what you've been waiting for and you love it. If you hate Kyle, or he's not your cup of tea or any degree of, you don't have to listen anymore. You're not subjected to him. So don't worry about it. Like, get on with your life and live it. He did the best job he could have if you were actually scripting what day one of a Kyle show could sound like, including all the off-air technical stuff. I just thought it was amazing.
Well, while you were listening to Kyle, I was over monitoring Kiss. So you'd imagine his old employer, Kiss, combated Kyle starting a new show by doing, and everybody gets $1,000 calls. Everyone that calls in won $1,000. Nice tactic, very generous.
Love it.
It was never going to stop people tuning over to Kyle's show. Croat Nat's still there, so there's still some familiarity. Mike E's still there. Not one mention of Brooklyn Ross the entire show.
Right.
No mention of it. And I've had a quick monitor of the entire 3 hours. Didn't get a mention once. And I thought that was a little rude because he's been such an integral part. Just mention it. Who cares? Brooklyn's gone. We know. And we all watched the news. We all saw it. They should have at least acknowledged that he's now left, but he wasn't mentioned in the show at all today.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously he took ARN by surprise with that move. By the sound of it, it didn't sound like it was pre-planned. It felt like perhaps it came together over the last couple of weeks. Who knows? We'll never know the real truth, of course. But it feels like that was last minute. But I agree. I mean, we live in the media bubble and the radio bubble. We know everyone's movements and we know what's going on. And yes, it was in the news, but yeah, they could have at least given a bit of a, hey, Brooklyn's not here at 6:05. I mean, that at least would have shown a bit of respect, I think. But I can also understand why they just wanted to move on. But they've got to remember a large cohort of those people are still there. I mean, there are the Kyle fans that have paid their $99 and they're on from day one, but there are still a lot of Kyle and Jackie O fans listening to Kiss, and they kind of have to walk this tightrope, don't they, between honouring that and not ignoring them. But also you can't just kind of put a blank slate over it. They've been there for 10 years or so.
I mean, visually, I thought Kyle's new show was great. I loved the black and gold, very warehouse, less studio, more open room. Yes, there were technical issues. Who cares? That's going to be fixed. As Robbie Wood said on Facebook, give me 15 minutes and I'll fix your C-bus return feed, whatever that means. All the tech nerds were geeking out. I would have thought they'd done some live testing. I was actually hoping they'd do a show on Sunday. They'd pop up for a couple of hours yesterday. I was waiting for it. I thought, well, you'd want to do some sort of testing before you go into the real thing, but they didn't, apparently. But here's, Wade, what I missed. So I have missed the Kyle that we've experienced over the last 2 weeks. So for the last 2 weeks, we have had a real version of Kyle Sandilands, the Kyle that I actually like, the nice guy, the human, the radio nerd. That's the guy I like, and I miss not having him back.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I was thinking on the weekend about who is the real Kyle. And I don't really think anyone, maybe apart from Tegan, his wife, would really, really know, and maybe Bruno does. Because his brand supposedly is all about saying exactly what he thinks. So that naturally leads you perceptually to go, he's very authentic. But if you hear people talk about Kyle off the air, they say he's warmer, he's kinder, he's more generous, he's softer. And so there's some weird irony there, right? Is that he's playing an authentic character on his show. He's playing himself as someone who just says what they think. But is that actually him? I mean, and this talk is coming up around Karl Stefanovic as well. Like, is he just kind of like clickbaiting all the right-wing stuff to be able to get an audience? Again, I don't think we'll ever really know that. But with Kyle, it's such a weird, I find it fascinating. It's a fascinating piece of psychology that he is actually somewhat warmer, and maybe that's what we've seen in these interviews over the last couple of weeks, where he's been less competitive, less hostile. But I have to say, from a performance perspective, I actually preferred the combative one. I actually preferred him playing the role that the audience want him to play, because the big difference now is people are paying for it. So you can call it, I don't know, like a circus act. He's basically, what you're paying for now is a concert ticket. And when you go to a concert, you want to see the band play the songs that you love.
Yeah,
you don't want to hear all their new stuff.
Play the hits.
Yeah, you want to hear, if it's John Farnham, you want to hear You're the Voice. You don't want to hear anything new. You actually want to, did you like that John Farnham reference? That was just for you. You want to hear all of the songs that you know and love. And so what I think Kyle did was revert to type. And I would say, from a performance aspect, well done, Kyle, because I actually think that's who he is and what people are now paying for, so he's got to give the people what they want.
It's red light fever. The microphone red light comes on and we get that version of Kyle. Now, if I can be honest about what I want to say to him, and it's all credit, huge credit, he is an absolute trailblazer. When this becomes the norm, people will look back and thank him for making app-based content the norm, for paid content, the norm. He has done all the heavy lifting. App companies will copy and follow what he's done over the last 6 months. And we'll have a whole string of people, just like Kyle, pop up over the next couple of years doing exactly what he's doing. Was I excited about his new show? Well, I can equate it to something like this. I was extremely excited when FM radio came to the Sunshine Coast in the early 90s, and I could see that red light on my stereo. I was very excited when digital radio started in the mid-2000s, and I had access to 30 new channels in my car. I was excited when apps like TuneIn and iHeart gave me every radio station in the world I could tune into and just have a listen. And I'm just as excited by this. It's new. It'll take time. It's just another way of delivering content. And I just think, well done to the team for doing something new and blazing a trail. It'll be the norm in 6, 12, 18 months, and he did it. He was the first in Australia to do it, so well done.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going to kind of split with you a little bit on being the norm. So, and I don't want anyone to think I've been sucked into a Kyle vortex, right? Because I'm giving him an assessment based on the show that I heard this morning, and I thought he did a 5-star job of what his audience were paying for. I still believe it's an uphill battle. He's asking people to pay for something that they haven't paid for before. And of course, all the superfans are going to pay straight away. That was always going to happen. The challenge from here on, and we're only on day one, is that he has to build a sustainable audience over time. He has to accommodate churn that people go, I really love Kyle, but you know what? I don't want to renew that subscription because I've got other cost of living pressures, or maybe I don't want to pay for it, or maybe he's not what he used to be, whatever version of that are. So I still think from a business perspective and from a marketing perspective, he's got a lot of challenges still ahead of him. And I don't think commercial radio or the ABC has to worry. To be honest, I think they can just keep doing what they're doing. I think Kiss will get a new breakfast show soon in Sydney and one in Melbourne. I think they'll probably pick good people who will do a great job. And if I'm commercial radio today, I'm not worried in the slightest about Kyle. I think all it's done is move some hardcore Kyle fans over there, and they might be in the tens of thousands. But the reality is I don't think it's going to change the economics of radio and the 15 million listeners who tune into commercial radio every week across Australia. I think that's still a challenge for Kyle, even though he's hitting it out of the park for his superfans.
Just a quick check. How much money did you pay for the app on the weekend out of your own pocket?
$99.
Right, so let me just check that again. How much money did you pay? How much money did you part with on the weekend to have Kyle's content?
What's your point?
People will pay. You paid.
Yeah.
People will pay.
Yeah, but you're saying it's going to be the norm. People aren't going to pay for radio just because now. That's not going to happen.
No, I disagree. When I say it's the norm, it's a new norm. Radio's not going to be affected by it. We'll now just have an extra streaming service. We'll pay for it. We'll pay for the content we like. I had a friend from Canada text me on the weekend. They were running ads in Canada around the world saying, tune into King Kyle. They did a discounted rate for international guests. It was $20 off.
Ah.
So the dollar was parity for parity. It was 79 Canadian dollars, which is about 80 Australian dollars. So they were doing a cheaper version for overseas, and people were signing up.
Yeah, interesting. All right, well, look, that's probably nearly enough, Kyle, but I also wanted to reassure any new listeners we've got, ex-Game Changers listeners. First of all, welcome. Thanks for coming along. We're a podcast for radio nerds, so we talk about all of radio. We talk about commercial, ABC, community. We talk about radio in Australia and overseas. It's not all Kyle all the time. Obviously, today's a bit different. So I had this brilliant idea over the weekend, and Liam, I thought that what we should do is find the best Kyle superfan we could find, and we should say to them, listen, do you want to start a Kyle podcast? And really, there was only one person I thought of, and that is the amazing Bella Frezza. Hey, Bella.
Morning. Hi,
Bella.
guys.
Let's just clarify that, Bella. Who sent you the text first? Was it me or Wadio with the great idea that you should host a Kyle podcast? Check the timestamp. I'm pretty sure you'll find I had the idea first.
Liam, you did text me first, and then and then I got the message from Wade, and I was like, hang on a second, 2 people have messaged me this morning. What is going on?
Let me back it up a little bit. So this is where it gets quite scary. Wade's and my radio cycle is in sync. We both had the exact same idea at relatively the same time, and we both texted you within half an hour saying, you need to host a Kyle fan podcast. You are the perfect person for this job. Congratulations.
Thank you, Liam, Wade. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, as you know, I'm just so passionate about Kyle, and I've followed this, this story since Kyle and Jackie were off the air, and it's just become so huge through social media for me. So I just love it. I could talk about it forever for free. So here we are.
Yeah, well, that's why we're giving you a podcast. So it's going to be called the Kylecast. It's going to come out Saturday morning, so you've got a new Saturday morning ritual. But also on Saturday mornings, Liam, we're going to do a Saturday morning version of the quarter hour. So if you love getting podcasts on a Saturday morning, you've got a choice of either or both. We're going to be talking about general radio. Bella is going to be all Kyle all the time. And without giving too much away, Bella, I've got a feeling I know the answer, but what did you think of the show this morning?
I'll just tell you how I felt when I saw the countdown happening for them to start. I was like, I'd just gotten up. My husband was standing next to me. He's like, oh, it's on. I'm like, I think I'm going to cry. I got so emotional. Like I had goosebumps everywhere. And when he came on and then the audio wasn't working and it's just like, you know what? You're all human. It's all good. And it was just, to me, the feeling of
How did you
seeing them
feel,
all there was
Bella,
so
when
good.
there was no intern Pete? Was deep down, did you think he was going to turn up this morning?
I did. Yes. I actually had a dream that he did last night. And my dreams are like, we were a little bit psychic. And I actually thought he was going to turn up this morning, but no Pete. So yeah, a little bit sad.
No Pete, no Jackie, but all Kyle all the time. And that's what your podcast is going to be. So we look forward to, follow you on the socials this week. If you want to jump on the Kylecast on Instagram or Bella's socials, we'll tag everyone through there. I'm sure you'll have some great social content during the week. And the first episode of the Kylecast will be Saturday morning in your podcast feed. Bella, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
And to you guys, Happy New Year.
Well done, Bella. And wait, can you imagine it? Imagine if there was a podcast on a Saturday morning that talked about nothing but radio. Imagine that this weekend. Can you imagine if there's just a podcast with two radio nerds, a la you and I, talking all things right? Imagine if there was a third person on that show. Can you imagine it, radio?
Are you offering a public invite for someone to come and join us? Is that what you're doing?
It's all you, my friend, but I'll be there Saturday. I cannot wait to chat with you. Imagine a Saturday morning radio show. It's got legs. It's got legs.
It has, yes. All right, we'll be back with a liner note in just a sec.
Great technology is only as powerful as the people using it. RCS Academy offers self-paced online training and certification across Zeta, G-Selector and Acquirer. Whether you're developing new skills, training your team or looking to get more from your RCS products, RCS Academy provides practical, industry-focused learning you can complete at your own pace. To learn more, contact RCS today.
Okay, tomorrow on the quarter hour, we are going to be looking at the UK radio ratings. So what's happening in the UK? Matt Deegan from the Media Club is going to join us. Fascinating difference between public radio and commercial radio over there. They had their ratings out last week. And I've got a format idea, Liam, that I think is an absolute winner. So that's on tomorrow's episode.
Also coming up later this week, we have to thank the amazing Triana Butler for giving us the term Iron Chef Radio Moments. We have taken a massive radio event that happened last week. Same interview. 5 radio stations. They all had the same radio ingredients. How did they serve them up differently? We're going to dissect it one station at a time. It's a lot of fun. You'll love this one.
All right, big week here on the quarter hour and coming soon, the Kylecast.